And now, from the Sunnybrook Ballroom in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, it's the Bring 'em Out podcast with your hosts, Joel Richardson and Alan Hill.
Hey everybody, we're here at the Sunnybrook Ballroom inside the podcast studio with another episode of Bring 'em Out. I'm Alan Hill, here with SoulJoel himself, Joel Richardson, and we are here with a very special guest.
Yes.
The reigning, defending champion, best of the Burbs,
Yes.
Rasheed Wesley. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. Yo, I've always wanted to do this show with y'all because, like, I really like just talking to y'all and, like, just picking y'all brains and hearing y'all stories. So this is dope for me. So thanks for
That's
having me.
mutual, man. You're one of the easiest people to talk to and one of the funnest people to talk
Oh,
to.
thank you. I'm just deranged, bro. I just have really stupid ideas, and I just have no problem telling people that.
And like finds like.
It's true. This is true.
It was pretty cool for him to win last year.
Dude.
A lot of people stacked, brought people.
Oh,
Yeah.
good point. Real good point.
Yeah, that was every competition round felt like an away game. Like you walk in the arena, you see everybody else's jersey but yours, and you like, all right, we fighting tonight. Let's get it. Let's do it. So it was kind of scary sometimes, man.
Dude, that's awesome. It's a great point, Joel. I mean,
Yeah.
really, I know we talked about that last year, but I hadn't thought about it in a minute, and that's a great point.
And I forgot to say, because we started round the year 2, and I forgot to say what I said in the first year. When I started this in New York years ago, the first edition of this, Pete Davidson beat Chris DiStefano.
Good lord!
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first time I did that.
Okay, so you just come out swinging. All right, that's wild.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right, I would have loved to have been there for that. Like, that would have been a dope
It was
round.
wild.
Like,
That was a Staten Island thing,
Yeah.
right?
And I still feel bad to this day, because as we just talked about with not bringing people,
Yeah.
the show was sold out, like 175 people.
damn.
Chris DiStefano's dad came every round with his wife and sister-in-law, and I had no room. He's like, I'll sit at the bar, the other room, and he's like Gatsby's and SoulJoel's, and he's like, I go, I'm not room. And I'm like, was that the deciding votes?
And you know,
He
Chrissy,
went by one?
you know Chrissy D's family's bringing some volume.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about what they did time.
Yo.
That's I think I've never heard that before. That's incredible.
Crazy. So congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah.
I left New York.
Yeah, thanks. I don't have any fun stories like that. It was just...
We're off to the races.
Yeah, bro. Yo, thanks for making me feel like the complete letdown.
This is to say we're going to be bragging about you like
I
that.
hope,
in 10
man.
years,
Yo,
man.
I hope, bro. Don't put me up there like that because I'm dressed like a substitute teacher because I am a substitute teacher.
It's funny. But, and also, this year, we're the winners, and I'm going to try to have you a part of this. They're doing a 3 comedy club tour
Oh,
with
word.
Wisecrackers and the Mayas Theater with SoulJoels.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Oh, bro, you already know I'm down.
They go, we don't think Helium's going to cooperate and be involved.
Yo.
We'll see what happens.
Yo. Directly into the camera, bro. That was some real Kendrick Lamar at the Super Bowl energy. You really just hit an entire comedy club with the Say Drake. Like, wow. Tough.
I mean, we'd like to.
Oh,
We'll see what happens.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I think that's cool. And I think you've done it long enough, too, where you see, like, every show's got to be different areas, different states.
Yeah.
You can't go out the same way.
Yeah, nah, man. Every time you go to a different spot, you gotta like really feel the vibe for where you're performing. You gotta know, like, all right, even in a place like Brooklyn, you know, is completely different depending on what part of Brooklyn that you're in, bro. Like, my friend took me to 3 different mics, and I did great in 2 of the rooms. One was kind of like a regular bar crowd. One was definitely a hood room. 3rd room I do kind of bombing there, but everybody else is going crazy, and I'm like, what's going on? They go like. I'm like, what happened? Same joke, same performance. What went wrong? He goes, oh, I forgot to tell you, this is the writer's room. I'm like, what you mean the writer's room? He's like, this is where everybody go who write on TV shows to practice stand-up, bro. This is a whole different time. And I'm like, this is literally 3 blocks away from where I just murdered, bro. So,
Wow. Wow.
Every show got to be different. Everything has to be. You got to feel for the vibe, man.
So fascinating.
Yeah. Well, and one comic a couple weeks ago told me he's never bombed before. Well, there's your answer. I mean, never.
Did he tell you in the same breath he never lied?
Right, bro. I love. No, here's my theory.
Because you already said it. You already said out you bombed.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
for sure, bro. Like, it honestly, I always look at comics, especially when they're young, and they say I've never bombed. I go, oh no. Now I feel like you've been bombing the whole time. You've been bombing the whole time. And you just don't
never
know.
Done well.
Yeah, you don't know what it's like to crush. Therefore, you just think everything is great. Nah, bro. You're bombing and there's nothing worse than a bomb and you feel it. Like you sitting in it and you know you got like 7 more minutes.
Yeah.
And you just gotta, bro. It's like sitting in the electric chair and the dude who's running it is like, hold up, gotta let it warm up. It ain't ready. You gonna die in a minute. Yeah, nah, you gonna cook. Yeah, give it a second. Then you just sit there like, am I gonna die here?
And a bunch of people just staring at
Just
you.
playing. Oh God, it's the feeling when you know they're like, alright, so you've done a black room. You ever got the, oh baby, you ever got that?
Oh no.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one you
adorable.
Yeah,
no.
Jesus. I sent my friend as a replacement for me to a show, a Jamaican show, Jamaican birthday.
Okay.
Notoriously, Jamaicans don't laugh at nothing.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
You ain't gonna really get them like that. And he knew it was over when the grandmother in the back of the room stands up and goes, all right, he's had enough. And, yo.
What is this, a boxing match?
Yeah, all right. Let him up.
Yeah.
Nah, man.
He's on the ground.
That's not
no need to hit him again.
Yeah, come on, bro. He's already twitching. Let him go. Like, that's not even the worst bomb is when I saw a comic do. He said the punchline twice. Because it got nothing. It's like,
oh, he thought they must not have heard that.
Exactly.
Clear.
Yes, clear. Bro, like, yo. Imagine hearing
clear.
Imagine hearing crickets and your first thought is, my diction is off, bro. I'm not. I gotta pronunciate more.
Yes.
So like
I need to enunciate and look at the camera.
Yeah.
We heard you.
Yeah. Thank you. I tried. Nah, but like, and he did this thing. Where he says it again. And it's still quiet, except for somebody in the back who just goes, hey, bro, we heard you the first time. Perfect. I have never seen that man again.
Oh, that ended it.
Yeah, I would too. I'm done.
You're in the wrong thing if you don't have thick skin in comedy, man.
Oh, yeah, nah, man.
Failure is part of the game.
Oh, yeah, nah, but yeah, so to any comic who says they've never bombed, okay.
Yeah.
Sure, bro. Okay, I don't believe you, but all right.
That's kind of real quick interjection on that. That's kind of the musical equivalent of all the people out there that claim to be self-taught.
All right, so you suck.
Yeah, so you don't take pride in honing your craft at all.
Okay, yeah.
Good for you.
You're saying every good musician had to have been taught something at some point.
They got something from somebody somewhere.
By somebody, yeah, right? Yeah, like...
Yeah. Maybe they didn't sign up for guitar lessons. Maybe. Most of them probably did. But maybe they didn't. But they had an uncle. They had a buddy down the block. They had Johnny in the jam room. You know? They picked up a lick from Eric Clapton record.
I was about to say, somebody had to show them something. Like, somebody had to teach them something. Yeah.
You just don't roll out of the womb playing the pentatonic scale.
Yeah, right? Yeah, like, same thing with comedy, dude. Like, nobody has ever gotten up and, like, just been a murderer from day one.
Right.
Without getting taught something along the way, but from someone who has been doing it a lot longer and a lot better. I have learned from so many people, specifically in this building. I have learned from so many people just by being in the building, coming to shows, doing mics, being allowed to host. You know, I've learned a lot. So,
and my brother-in-law, Scott, the chef, he's the one that pointed it out that each comic, musician, whoever, brings their fan base. You attract your likeness.
Yep.
And whether it's whoever it is, Aunt Mary Pat, Ed Bassmaster, like any of the comics, like you attract your crowd.
Yeah.
Have you noticed like any crowds that were really good or bad?
Mm-hmm. So I have had some of the best.
There's a couple of follow-ups.
Yeah,
I love it. Okay,
yeah, all right.
I love it.
I didn't think we were gonna go in this early.
No, let's do it. Nah,
right,
so well, actually, so something that I tell a lot of people when they ask about, I always say like, oh, SoulJoel is my home club, and they're like, oh, well, what's it like there? And I say you're always gonna get a good crowd because every comic that comes through already is bringing their own fans.
Right.
So you're already going to have a set group of people who are already down for whatever you're bringing because they already like that brand of comedy.
Right.
But SoulJoel also just has its core fan base of people who just like comedy.
Right.
It
They're
don't
coming
have,
out because of the show.
Exactly. So you're getting double the fun, and you're gaining more people along the way. So one of my favorite audiences was when I got the host for Keith Robinson.
Oh,
that was
okay.
crazy. That was wild, man. Like, they made me, because being in a room of people who, I love Keith, and I've watched him since I started
And all
doing
the comics he's helped.
Exactly. Like, the lineage, but also, like, you can see what he taught Kevin when you watch him. And I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm seeing what Kevin saw. This is great. Like, it's like reading from the same textbook as the guy who got valedictorian.
Right.
Really cool.
So
Really cool.
being in that room with those kinds of comedy fans, you had to be on your A game because they're used to the best already. They're
Right.
used to straight comedy, straight killers from beginning to end. So you got to be on your A game. So it made me elevate my game. So just that was amazing for me. So.
Good. That's killer, man. And Keith, did you get to interact with Keith off
Yo,
stage?
yes, yes, I did. Yo,
Let's talk about that a little bit. I didn't hear any of these stories. I want to hear
Ball
them.
busting from start
Oh,
to
he's
finish.
the band.
yo. So I met Keith in New York. I met Keith
At the Cellar.
At the Cellar. So
Before he performed here.
yes.
Oh, okay, okay.
So I knew he was coming. I knew he
Okay.
was coming, and I'm like, I got a host for him. I got a host. So I'm like, hey, Joel, if I see him, can I ask? And you like, hey.
Weird, he's in the next room.
Yeah.
Right here. What a coincidence.
So,
Burbs.
yeah. So, and
Oh boy.
so I'm like, so I see him, and I'm like, Keith, yo, man, great to see you. Great to have you in the building, dude. I would love to be part of the show if you have any room. But if not, I'm still going to be there. By the way, little tip for any younger comic that wants to ask about being on the show. Always tell them you're coming anyway.
Yes.
Always support regardless.
Yes.
Because even if you don't get that one that you wanted, if he comes through again, or she comes through again, they're going to remember, oh, this dude supported
He
even
showed up.
when he had nothing to gain.
Nothing to gain.
So,
He already got his no, and he still came.
and he still came.
That's
you know?
that's smart.
So I asked him, I'm like, hey man, I would love to be part of the show if I could, if you have any room. If you don't, that's all good. I'm still going to be there regardless. And in the most Keith way, he goes, oh, you know Joel. I'm like, yeah. He goes, tell him I said it's okay. And I'm like,
That was a good Keith, by the way.
thank you.
That is.
I can do it better. I just didn't
He
want to
didn't
go all
say-
the way in. He didn't go.
Also-
You didn't fully, I could tell you weren't fully committed.
Oh, yeah, I
I
was
was still
like-
there.
Because
Yeah.
also, I can tell Keith didn't say yes. He goes,
Yeah.
tell him I said it's okay.
Yeah.
Tell him I said you're probably not going to do great,
Yeah,
but I'm fine with it.
yeah, it's like,
Easy on the stroking.
Yeah. Oh boy.
yo.
I'm shaking.
No, all right. Yo, he's gonna be so mad at me, but it's so funny. Remember when Talent Harris came?
Yeah.
And I'm walking by the pictures on the wall, and I
Yeah.
see Keith's signature with his picture. And something made me just stop, and I tap Talent. I'm like, yo, that's messed up, man. I'm like, what? He goes, Joe made him sign it with the stroke hand. He ain't had to do that. And I'm like, yo, he's gonna kill me. He was like, no, he's not. That's funny. And I'm like, and that was something else that I learned. That night, Talent was like, yo, don't worry about what they're gonna think about the comedy. Say the joke and ask for forgiveness later. If you got to, you got to. But like, if it's funny, get it off.
I love it.
And that kind of made me a little bit more bold.
So did you tell
since then.
Keith that story?
Oh, hell no. Not at
That
all.
being said,
Not at all. No, not at all. Because I've seen Keith
next time.
Yeah, I've seen Keith wield a kind of power that I've never seen anybody wield. He made a sidewalk full of people in New York City wait for him.
In New York City.
In New York City. Like in Greenwich Village, on McDougal Street. 60 people waiting for this man to go up the street because they just felt the aura. The aura.
That's incredible.
Wild.
That is incredible.
Yeah, man.
That's something else, man.
But I've just met so many cool like comics here, man. I've got to interact and learn so much, and just like, so I'm just glad to be able to do this in this kind of place.
Thanks, man. Now there was one show in particular
Mm-hmm.
that I was going to ask you about. Did you feel anything the first time?
What? All right. What show?
You know what show?
I don't.
Yeah.
No, because we're going to talk about what your impression of it was. The guy came back.
Oh.
She didn't.
Yeah.
There was
Now
some
I know what
drama.
you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Because so since then, there was a show that got canceled.
Mm-hmm.
She was the feature.
Mm-hmm.
Her fiance was the headliner.
Yes.
Right.
2 sold out shows. It was great.
Got you as a feature.
Yeah.
Yep. And we rebooked. I said, fine, I'll do a third show as her as the headliner, 11 o'clock show. And then she did what she did. She tweeted.
Yep.
And
Wild stuff.
Wild stuff.
Yeah, straight up
Wild.
N-word tweet.
Yeah.
I saw
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
straight up N-word tweet. But the problem is, she never apologized for that tweet.
Mm-hmm.
So now she just went on the Twin Bro podcast.
Huh. Okay.
And which is 2 African American,
Two black dudes.
2
Mhm.
black
Yeah.
dudes. Also Adam Carolla. And I get the,
Corolla makes sense.
no, but also, but she doesn't make sense, or like she doesn't refer to it.
That's right. She didn't tell the whole story.
She says that Michael Rappaport called me
Yeah, which is
and said that
Okay.
I told her to cancel it, and
Okay.
not true.
And
No.
You take all your orders from Michael Rappaport.
Yeah, because who doesn't? I don't make a move without what Michael. Can I do anything? Like,
Yeah.
Me
No.
either, Rasheed.
Yeah. What? That's the thing?
Yeah,
That's her story. Okay.
Crazy.
All right.
which I just think I'm like, you're not giving people. It's like almost like clickbait.
Yeah.
You're just giving people, and all our fans are like, oh, this is because we consider ourselves a free speech venue.
Yep.
Right?
And
That's
she was
very
like, well, they
important,
don't because they canceled my show. And she said because of this club, she now can't do other clubs.
yeah. Horseshit.
First-
Free speech comes with consequences.
Yeah.
But first off, I would just like to say I know exactly.
This should
who-
take us till next Thursday.
Yeah. I would just like to say it's just something slight. It's just something
Rasheed, your
slight.
thoughts?
All I'm just gonna say
Because you were
is,
deep in this.
oh yeah, nah, bro. I was the whole way in because I have friends in Chicago, and Chicago bounced her.
Yeah, he was
before
doing-
she even got here.
He was doing like the play-by-play.
Yeah, I'm watching the whole thing, yo. I love beef. What are you talking? You're talking to. I love beef. You're talking to the number.
He's a younger
one
guy,
candidate.
but it's beef. It's what's for dinner.
Yeah.
Also, this is Rasheed Wesley Jr., the first winner
Yeah, I
of
love
the
beef.
Best of the Burbs.
No, yo, all right. Can I be honest? Beef helped me win the first Best of the Burbs because the competition was happening during the same time as the Drake Kendrick battle. So in every round, I'm just listening to Family Matters and not like
So
just
funny.
getting ready for just straight up. I'm like, let's get it. Like I was.
Putting on like face
Yeah, I'm
paint.
just let's go. I'm like, let's go. Like you know,
Braveheart, the ultimate warrior.
yo, I'm not gonna lie. I was ready for war that whole time in the back. This is how deep it went. You
Meanwhile, I'm like, you guys ready for a show?
Yeah, this is now,
Everybody fun?
now, she gonna be now. All right, you gonna see this later. I'm sorry. You just gotta remember, I was in war mode, so it's not how I really feel about you whatsoever. You know, one of the closest people in the world to me is my friend Meredith, who got second that night.
Yeah.
So she goes up first, murders, destroys. For a split second, I felt a twinge. And then somebody came to me and were like, yo, she killed. And I swear to God, out of my mouth, I just went, sorry, she gotta die too. And I'm like, let's go. Like, I was ready for whatever.
Where are you sleeping tonight?
Yeah. Side note, I have a new apartment.
Okay, all right.
Apartment.
Hey, that was inside baseball.
Yeah, no. Nah, but it was just like, and then, but nobody was happier for me. Nobody was happier for me when I won.
Yeah.
Nobody was happier for her when she won. And it was cool, but like that was, I love competition because it brings out the best of me and my friends.
Yeah.
I love that.
You know what I'm saying? Like it makes us. That was one of my favorite things about Best of the Burbs was the amount of people who I was friends with and I highly respected in comedy participated. And it was the first time we really got to like bounce back and forth off of each other in a way of like, okay, where you at? What you know, like
It's really cool.
like it's like slap boxing with your friends.
Totally.
It's just like, all right, let me see where your hands is at. Like, can you handle? All right, cool, let's get it.
Yep.
But yeah,
Okay, Johnny Terry's just left low.
But back to the original thing.
Right.
Back to the original thing.
Chicago happens.
Yep.
Boston happens.
Yup, they bounced their both individual scenes that have
that
nothing.
same thing happened
Yes.
in Boston.
Do you know how bad you got to be to get bounced from Boston
For racist stuff?
Well, for racist
It's
stuff?
the racist homeland.
Come on, bro. Like their state bird is Marky Mark.
Bill
Like,
Russell won 10 championships there and doesn't even want to set foot in that town.
That's wild.
Yeah, but all right, so I knew. So that's what I found out the second time she was coming. The first time I should have had a warning because somebody came, I asked like, how do you? I was hosting and I was like, how do you want me to bring you up? And she says the most canceled woman in comedy or something like that.
Right.
And I'm like, what does that mean? I thought it was something cute, like, oh, you know, a little nickname, whatever, cool. And then somebody goes, nah, bro, she got canceled. She got banned from the comedy mothership, Joe Rogan's club. And I'm like,
Wait,
what
by
do
the way-
you gotta say?
Just opened, by the way.
Yeah,
At that point, had
she-
just opened.
She might have been the first person canceled.
Yeah.
like, dude, like, what do you
Rogan?
what do you have to say to make Joe Rogan be like, hey, nah, bruh, we can't have this here? Like,
Apparently, the same thing of the tweet. That's
Wow.
why.
I mean, that's more surprising than Boston. And
Yeah.
so Boston is really surprising.
yeah, but
That's
like,
it. That says a lot, by the
Yeah.
way. I like that happened.
oh yeah, and that's the crazy thing. Like, so when that whole situation happened, and the tweet comes out, the comedians around me and the comedy community already feels away. So we're already like, nope, we're not having this. You got to go. We're not. We saw how Chicago bounced you. We saw how Boston bounced you.
They're going down our tour schedule.
Yeah, which is another thing that I was about to bring up. It's a lie that this club got all her shows canceled because you were the last one. Like, it hadn't gotten here yet. I was watching them get canceled in order.
Like a tropical storm.
Seriously, I was watching.
Sweeping across the nation.
Yeah, her little lake tree was just like a racist storm tracker. Like,
Yeah.
how close is it getting?
I didn't realize we'd gotten to the ends.
Yeah.
Well, and then,
Jesus.
oh boy.
Is that too much?
All right, yeah, I'm sorry. That was wow. That was good.
Thank you.
That's very good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But then we saw Secret Show Pottstown.
Mm-hmm.
So I called up the owner of the place where I think it's going to be. He was like, oh no. And tells me, I'm like, what
Yep.
did she say? And allegedly said that I didn't want to pay my employees overtime for those 11 o'clock show, and she's too far right-wing for me. I'm like, the same day I had a drag brunch, I had Kennedy from Fox. I've had almost every comic from, both sides.
Yes.
It's free speech. I go, I knew what I was booking.
And if
So-
you're counting, that's a different story number 2. This is
Right.
the second story that this is the second explanation
Yeah.
for how this happened. If you're keeping score at home.
Yeah,
100%.
and I go, she mentioned nothing about a tweet. He goes, oh no.
As soon as you said tweet, oh no.
Because, that's downtown Pottstown. And that's not a good
Nah,
look.
dude.
Bad look.
Nah, dude. Like, so she just starts, and there's a lot of things that I will say. Once again, I like competition. I like beef. And I'm watching the discourse. I'm not interacting. I'm watching her discourse. And I'm seeing how she's responding to everybody in her Twitter mentions or whatever. And, like, she's really trying to paint it as some kind of, oh, they're getting me kicked out and canceled because of I'm this and I'm that, whatever. But then she did say something that, as somebody who likes beef, I took a personal, besides the N-word stuff, I took a personal objection to this thing.
Besides that.
Because like blatant and obvious.
Because she hit me as a black man and she hit me as a comic.
Oh shit.
And
Okay.
she was like, oh, I destroyed that place. I did this, I did that. And I'm like, shorty, I got it on cam. I dog walked you if you want to run it back. If you want to run it back.
I love it.
Side note, if you want to run it back.
Yeah. If you want to talk about acting like an animal, it was crickets.
Yeah, it was crickets. It was, oh. Yo, I heard a white man in there go, hey, yo, what the? Like, yo, he was confused by what we were watching.
Wow.
Like, she didn't even know how to get off stage. She didn't know how she was getting off stage. She was like, is somebody coming to bring... No, chick, I was just in the background asking your info for no reason, for funsies. Right. Why would I ask your...
Like, anybody that's done it for 3 weeks knows that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that whole situation went down crazy. And she's just running around just playing this weird victim card.
Victim.
I think it's crazy because I took a perusal of her social media, and I do think it's kind of crazy how someone who is literally calling everyone else a victim is crying "poor me" on the internet. I just think it's kind of wild.
Isn't that perfect?
I just think it's kind of wild, dude. Like,
isn't that perfect?
Well, and I didn't realize, like you said, that there was people that were watching. So before that happened, I got a lot of like Jewish organizations and different people like, hey, like this person's racist, this comment's right, you can't have her here. Afterwards, the flood of a wide range of people from African American, everyone under just saying, thanks for canceling this person.
Oh, that's great.
Because that word is associated with pain and hate.
Yep.
But also, it's everything else she's doing too, that people don't want to be a part of, and they couldn't believe I booked her, but I didn't know how much.
This was a firestorm that was building. You know what I mean?
I mean, from what I've heard, that's just been the MO for how she rocks. It's ridiculous. Like, no, it is. It really, it's the MO for how she rocks.
It's crazy.
And I'm just like watching this happen. Like, it's weird that you can watch a person be a train wreck, but then like the train don't stop, so you can keep watching it wreck in different parts of the country.
Right.
Like I'm like, oh wow, you're wrecking here. Oh, you're about to wreck in California, and then you're about to wreck in. Wow, you just keep on wrecking. Like, you know, like, so it was wild just watching her play this victim while still sucking.
Well, and it's also funny how Rasheed is not soft spoken.
No.
And was on the show and goes, I got it on tape.
Yeah, I got it on camera. I got it on
We can run it back.
We can run it, bro. Yo, please run it back. I want to do it.
We should Mystery Science Theater 3000 that show.
We could. Oh, now see right here, this part of the bead of sweat on her forehead. That's when she knows she's bombing. That part when you're watching her eyes try to crawl inside her own skull. That's the part when she knows she's just killing herself.
Yeah, and if you didn't think the first experiment was bad enough, we did another show.
Yeah.
Well, it was probably an early crowd.
No,
What happened at the late show?
Yeah, nothing. Oh my god. Oh my god. Why would That's just a note that I have for people, and all I'm gonna say is that followed me. Because somebody else had a thing to say about it, about me being mad about her performing. Somebody else was like, "Oh, you robbed me of the chance to watch her perform, and you robbed me of the experience." He called her a young firebrand, noticing the absurdity of our times. That's
somebody giving way too much credit.
That's somebody hoping to get laid.
That's
somebody hoping that she was going to come back and go like, "Ooh, you're cute." No.
What's that, white knighting?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Here's the craziest part. So I go and I refund everybody, contact them.
Yep.
People left 1-star reviews, Google, something, and I got them taken down and but the thing is, there were still people that showed up for the show.
Oh, that's
that didn't get the refund, didn't get the email. No way, they got the refund, but didn't notice it or whatever. Mm-hmm. There was 3 white guys in plaid that I'm like, all right.
I didn't book Pearl Jam, so
all right, yeah.
These boys were also ready to rock.
Oh yeah, they were. Oh god. Oh god.
And one of them was named Jeremy.
No. I'm like, check.
Yep, there we go.
Because the other show was down the road like 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. But the one that was an African-American couple that drove up from Richmond.
Now that was crazy.
That was, I still think about that.
I'm like,
blows my mind.
We're here for, I go, huh?
Yeah, like, you knew who this was.
I was looking around, where are the cameras?
Yeah, bro. Yo. That part
I'm like, are they undercover NAACP?
Yeah. I think this is an episode of What Would You Do?
Totally.
I'm still searching for answers.
Yeah, you're like, yo,
it's 2 months later.
Dude, we gotta get them on the pod.
Yeah, that's who I want to talk to. I need to know what they're about.
Yeah.
No,
last final thing.
Yeah.
And this is what really. So he had Jeff Lyons open up, and he's like a headliner for Cruise Ship Comics and stuff, and then Toogie Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So he had him introduce, because you get the credits.
Yep.
The fastest rising comic according to the KKK. Did you know that?
Oh, wow. First off,
And
I didn't even know they counted that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had a chart. They had a chart for this? Okay.
It's hard to see the chalk marks on the bed sheets.
I go I go, that would be alarming any night.
Yeah.
But on this night, when all radars and alerts are up, I go,
yo,
that's a wild thing to say.
Wow.
but you know what though? Because that goes to something that
Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Glad to be here. Honestly, though, but that goes to something else that I found out later. The reason that a lot of people, like the reason she got bounced out of Chicago, was because those types of people would show up to the shows. Like actual ones.
Really? Okay.
Like actual hate group members would show up to these shows because that, while it sounds crazy, it's not a joke. They love her. They love her. And so they'll actually show up to her shows because that's part of her fan base. So I think we dodged the bullet the first time. But when she was about to double back, I'm like, oh no. Oh no.
The troops may have been rallied.
Yeah. Dude, I called my friends. I'm like, yo, if she comes by, are we okay? And he was like, if something go left, we here. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
So, you just got to do a quick check-in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How many
yeah,
pickup
absolutely.
trucks are in the parking lot?
No, seriously, you really got it. And I think the night that I hosted, there was a lot more than usual. There was a lot of Punisher stickers on the back of those windshields that I saw. But it was cool. Like the crowd. That was the wild thing about that crowd. Like even though that's the kind of comedy that they came to see, they still were receptive to me.
Yeah.
They were wall to wall. I got crazy clips off of it. You can look at my IG. It's still all over there. They went bonkers. So they were ready for whatever. And watching them, and honestly, I think that might have made me feel a little bit better. They laughed at my stuff, laughed at his stuff, kind of died for her.
That's, perfect.
So I'm like, okay, cool. So they actually like comedy. They acknowledge that you suck. All right, cool.
Let's grab drinks and go to the bathroom.
Yeah, let's see. I can see a lot of people leave. I saw a lot of people leave, bro.
Just a
Wow.
quick,
Yo, I turned around so fast as soon as she went up. I'm like, all right, and we're here. Like, I counted the minutes. How long it was going to take her to get to one of those jokes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like 2 minutes and 45 seconds before she hit a joke that I'm like, yeah, somebody's mad now. Like,
wow.
Yeah, not great.
Nah, man.
Well, I mean, in all seriousness, Philadelphia Helium has built something special. I actually saw recently talking to people who were filling in the gaps of who won Philly's Funniest. And you look at it, it's like Matt McCusker, Shane Gillis, but also like Chip Chantry and David James, all these guys. Honored to have you as the first one. I want to see how it goes from here.
Yeah.
And onward and upward. And I expect big things from you.
Oh,
Damn
thank
right.
you, man. That means a lot, dude. And thank
Not
you.
to jinx it.
Yeah, not yet. What? We're Eagles fans here. You can't say good shit about anybody. Don't do that. Don't do that.
10 years from now, when you're huge and not returning our calls, we're going to send you this
I'm
stuff.
loving
Let's run it back.
I really wish that we could have like a Def Jam Fight for New York style comedy show where I'm just like, me and my boys in this corner, you and your people in that corner, and we keep throwing jokes till somebody taps out or somebody starts booing. And that's how it goes, bro.
Oh, I love it.
Bring back Def Comedy Jam.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Alan Hill, Rasheed Wesley Jr., SoulJoel, another episode of Bring 'Em Out.
Thank you.